and welcome to my channel. This is the Makeup Majesty, and welcome to all of my queens, gods, and goddesses, and all of the creative makeup artists who are looking for a makeup idea or just a certain look, or even to learn how to do your makeup. I definitely hope that my channel definitely help those who are very, very interested in becoming a part of the makeup industry. So I'm going to go ahead and begin. So what I'm doing here is I am outlining my brows. Whenever you start your brows, you always want to make sure to start at the bottom. You want to also make sure that you are following your natural brow line, ladies. Always follow that natural brow line. And just do it the best that you can. And just don't press down on the brush. I would say just barely push that liner in. So then I come at the corner and I bring that down, and then as you see now, I come to the beginning of my brow and I am just pushing it into that arch. It is not perfect, but the main thing to make this brow perfect will definitely be putting that concealer in and making sure everything is cleaned up neatly. And what I did is I did leave space at the beginning of the brow, at the front of the brow. I don't know why I keep saying beginning. Please forgive me. But at the front of the brow, you want to make sure you leave a space, because we definitely want to make sure that that brow gives that natural look. Because once I am done, I definitely will be, using my spoolie, whichever one you call it, and I will be definitely pushing in the rest of the liner, and I will be brushing it outward so that it can have that natural brow look. But as you see, I'm doing the same thing here. And I'm just making sure to go in this natural lining of my brow. And I'm just shading everything in nice and neatly. Okay. Now what you're seeing here is that I am taking my spoolie and I'm brushing in the remainder of the brow so that it can have that natural look in the front. Okay. And I'm just brushing everything out nice and neatly. Next, I'm getting ready to look at me being silly. This is the Tarte Concealer. I cannot tell you the shade, but I do know it is Tarte. And this is the shade that I use. I'm so sorry that I did not get the shade color. My apologies. If I do find out the shade, I will definitely put that at the link of the video. Okay, I'm just showing you guys my beautiful brush cup. It is so beautiful. I think it's so beautiful. But here I am getting my flat concealer brush. And I take the concealer, put it on my hand. And we are ready, girl. So first you want to start at the corner. You want to start in the corner of the natural shape of the brow. And I'm just bringing all of that towards the beginning of the brow. So once you get that portion in, you just want to blend that in nice and neat. And you want to take that as well and, line it up with the rest and clean that up. Once I feel like I have it lined up, I'm just going to brush all of that concealer down over the eyelid. And you want to make sure that that arch looks as clean as possible. So that's what I'm doing, just blending everything out, going back under the brow, making sure that everything is cleaned up and look as neat as possible. And there you have it. Look at that arch. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I was running out of concealer and I was like, but we're gonna make this work. So because I like to pile my concealer. Like I like it to be, you know, I don't feel like you can ever use too much concealer as long as you have, you know, more than less. Because the more you have, I feel like the neater you can get that arch. Okay, so I'm done with the bottom. I believe I'm going for the top, or maybe I'm going for the next one. We're gonna see. Okay, yeah, this is how I like to do. I like to do one side the same way as the other. I don't like to do more on one side than the other. So that's what I do. That's how I do things. So I'm just doing the same thing here. As you can see, starting in the corner, bringing it to the tailbone of the brow. I'm blending that in real good, nice and neat. And I'm just blending everything downward. You want to make sure that you blend everything downward, and then if you need to go back and clean up under the brow again, you will definitely be able to. And that's what I'm doing. Okay, so once again, there you go. You see the bottom of the brow is arched nice and neat. And then you will next see me start on the top of the brow. Okay. Once again, I like to start where the arch is, and I like to work my way to the tailbone, and I like to bring that concealer towards the front of the brow. Okay, and I just make sure that my tailbone looks neat, and then I'm going to go across here, and I'm going to bring that towards my other brow, and I'm going to blend everything upwards this time. So just remember, when you're doing the brow under, you blend it downward, and when you're lining the top of the brow, you always blend everything upward. And then as the bottom, same as the top, if you need to go back in to make sure that that arch is nice and clean, and that's exactly what you do. And I'm just blending everything in between my brow. And there you go. I think that arch is pretty good. I don't think you can get no better than that. Okay. To me, I think I did perfect though. You guys definitely let me know how I did in the comments. Same thing, starting with the arches, bringing that down to the tailbone. Yeah. And we're going to definitely bring the rest towards the front, line it up. And then after that, we're going to start blending everything in upward. Okay, and there you have it. I have that side arched, and I'm just going to clean it up some more. I like to think of myself as a perfectionista. I like to make sure everything is nice and neat. I mean, it bothers me if it looks like something is out of space. I'm going to always go back to make sure that everything is blended out right. And here it is. I'm just taking just a little shadow brush and I'm just blending all of my concealer into place. So just blending everything in, making sure everything is blended very, very well before I start on the next step. Okay, and you can see at the beginning of the brow, you can see how it's kind of faded or shaded out. That's the look that you want. You want to make sure that it looks as natural as possible. You don't want dramatic looking brows. You want to make sure it looks, you know, neat as possible. Here is my Prime Master Maybelline Primer. This is what I'm going to apply to my face prior to putting any type of foundation or concealer. Just making sure that everything has the right color. Everything just, you know, the color will come to what it needs to come to. It's kind of like a color corrector if you ask me. And it also makes sure that everything looks smooth looking. So we don't want any harsh looking, matted looking makeup. You know, we want to make sure everything is blended well. So I use this and I just take a regular brush and I just blend it in to my face all over. And it's going to look white looking, and this is what helps the foundation look very, very smooth, very, very natural. I mean, it's going to eat. Y'all going to see. So I just make sure that that's nice and blended all over. And y'all, I'm so embarrassed right here. The freaking thing came off. It's an old brush, so you know things happen. Don't judge me and don't do me. But I was not taking that out. I said, oh well. All right, so let's see. What am I going to do now? I think I'm going to do the foundation, right? I'm not sure. Let's see. Okay. I start off with my concealer. So this is what I'm doing. I am going into an angle in the corner towards the mid, and then I'm coming on the corner of the eyelid and I'm just lining everything together and, you know, blending it down. Start in the corner, bring it over, and then go to the corner and bring everything down. Make sure it's on the side of the nose, the bridge of the nose, and you know, we're gonna let that sit. And I think next we're going to do the nose, the chin, and we're going to do in between the brows and a little on the forehead. So this is the Maybelline. This is the actual foundation that I'm using. Maybelline 24-hour Fresh Wear. And I was just trying to take some of that off to let you guys see. And what I'm going to do, this is kind of like my contouring. And so I bring it there. I feel like I brought it down a little too far, but you know, I'm still going to blend it in well. But this is what I used. And I'm just mainly contouring with my foundation and concealer. And I'm going around the edge of my forehead. And you're going to see me go on the sides of my chin. And then in the middle is where I'm going to apply my concealer. So you'll see me go back in with the concealer. And I'm going to do just a little upside down triangle and at the top and then between the brows. You're going to see me apply concealer here in the middle of my nose. In my chin area. And now this is kind of like a foundation blending brush. This is what I use to blend everything in. So I'm starting with the concealer first, as you can see. And I'm just patting. When you do your concealer, you want to just make sure you're patting in place. You don't want to sweep anything, because that's when you can make your makeup look smudged. You want to make sure you're blending in the same area you applied it in. Just go in a pat motion. Don't sweep or anything. Just pat, 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 pat. And just make sure that it's blended well. So that's what I'm doing. And you want to make sure you get good up under the eye. The reason why I made sure that that was well blended under the eye is because, as you will see towards the end of the video, I did not have any setting powder with me. I did run out, and I should have known that before I done this video, but it's okay, you know. It's still gonna pop the way I need it to. But yeah, I didn't have any setting powder, so I just wanted to make sure that everything was blended in. And here I am going in with the foundation, and I'm just patting it into place. And guys, the reason why I'm doing this way is because I don't have bad skin. I have really clear skin, and so I don't have to really apply a lot of makeup. I don't feel like, so I feel like this is the best way. If you have smooth, clear skin like I do, you don't need to use a lot of makeup. You don't need to put a lot of foundation and then contour. You can actually contour with your concealer and your foundation. Get a darker shade for the foundation and a lighter shade for your concealer. And once you blend that in, that's all you need, guys. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm just blending everything in very, very well. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and get the forehead. Remember, I put the darker shade on the out corner. And I'm going to brush it back towards my hairline, because I don't want to take away from the concealer that I applied. So we're just going to make sure that everything is blended nice and neat towards the hairline. Yeah, I love my little cute little, I look like, what's the girl for the women's right? I don't know her name, but she had her little muscles flexing and everything. Y'all know who I'm talking about. So here I am. I'm going to do the nose area. And you will see me take that dark foundation, and you will see me line it up alongside of where I have the concealer lined up. And this is what I do when I contour my nose. Okay, so I'm just taking that and I'm going alongside of the concealer. Okay. And you will see me do this all the way up to my brow bone. So that's why you see me going all the way up to the beginning of the brow and coming down. And I'm going to sweep it under the concealer in kind of like a circular, motion or whatever. You know what I'm trying to say, y'all. I be trying to talk so professional and be messing up, but there you go. I'm blending it in very well, making sure I'm going all the way up to my brow bone and brushing it all the way down on the side. Y'all, see? There you go, girl. And then I'm going to take this brush and I'm just going to rub that concealer in. I'm not going to brush it away. I'm going to go in the same area. And you see how you can see that light in the middle of the nose? That's what you want. That's what you want. And you're going to leave it alone because that's all you need to do. I'm taking my Morph setting spray and I'm just going over my face with it. I'm just wetting my face up, and then I'm going to take a brush and blend everything in. This is more like a blush brush, but this is what I use to go over my face to blend everything in, making sure everything nice and neat. Now you can see how everything is well blended. I did not need to pile and overdo makeup. I don't like overdoing makeup. This is my Juvia's palette blush, and it has two shades. It has a dark pink and it also has a light pink. And I like to use the dark pink, so. And I feel like you can never go wrong with the blush. I feel like you can never use too much. It's just right. So I'm going on the cheek and I'm going all the way up. That's how I apply it. You do what you want to do, but this is how I do. So I start at my cheek and I just brush it all the way up to the side. All the way up to the side. I dabbed a little bit on my nose, you know what I'm saying? Because you can never go wrong with blush. I feel like blush brings out the shadow the way it needs to. And now I'm just sitting here with my Juvia's palette and I'm trying to figure out what colors I want to use. So that's what I'm doing. So this is an orange shade that I'm using. This is what I decided to start off with. This is an orange shade. And what you want to do is you want to start above your lid. And you just want to make sure everything is well blended. This is kind of going to be like your background color. That's how I like to describe it, as your background color. Because what I'm going to create is going to have more attention on the lid than the top part of the lid. So we just want to make sure that everything is nice and blended. And then when you get to the edge, you want to brush it outward towards your brow bone. And y'all, I'm just blending, blending, blending. Blending, blending, blending. Okay, so right here, I'm just blending everything in, making sure everything is nice and neat. Right here, I'm showing you the shadow palette from Juvia. I'm going to use the yellow on top of that orange to kind of bring it out and make it pop a little bit. And y'all, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and let y'all just watch the rest of the video. I feel like I'm doing a lot of talking and I just kind of want you to watch everything that I do, and I hope that it allows you guys to learn what you need to learn. So at this point, I'm just going to let you guys watch.